the Virginia coordinator for Second Amendment Sisters, and I'm also an executive member of VCDL. They're the kind of people that sent all those nice stickers down here for you. Well, I was going to ask you all how many were at the Tea Party up in Washington last Saturday, but that question has been asked, so I'll just say it had to be the best experience of my life. How about y'all? And I want to thank you, and you owe yourselves a big round of applause for your activity and taking back our government. So give yourselves a hand. All right, now the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, what part of shall not be infringed don't they understand? They are dumb, aren't they? When I was up there Saturday at the Tea Party, I wore my empty holster because in D.C. you're not allowed to defend yourself.
Good for you. Good for you.
There were a few other people doing the same thing, and most of the law enforcement that I ran into were very courteous. They asked me if I had a gun to go along with the holster, and I said, not with me. But I did run into one officer who tried to tell me that my holster was against the law. I said, do what? He said it was gun paraphernalia. Well, when he couldn't convince me that I had to take it off, then he tried to tell me that I might get shot wearing that thing because somebody might think I had a gun. I said, now who's going to shoot me? Nobody in D.C. is allowed to have a gun, except the cops. Well, one of the problems I have with going to D.C. is that I feel that self-defense is a God-given right. It was guaranteed by the Constitution because our founding fathers recognized that there are certain natural laws that nobody can take away. And when they wrote the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, it was based on these natural laws. So, there are people in our government now that are trying to bend the Constitution and say, well, we need sensible laws. We need to protect our children. We need to create some gun-free zones. Well, what are gun-free zones?
Where the crimes happen.
That is exactly right. Criminals see gun-free zones as a free pass. VCDL and Second Amendment Sisters are working hard to eliminate gun-free zones wherever possible, and we appreciate all the help that you guys are giving us. These laws that they're passing to protect us from ourselves are having unintended consequences. One of the members of Second Amendment Sisters, her name is Nikki, and she lives in Tennessee. She was married for a year, and her husband were getting ready to celebrate their first wedding anniversary, and they did karaoke for a living. So they were in a restaurant setting up the karaoke for that night, and an ex-boyfriend of Nikki's who was stalking her came in and shot her husband and killed him dead right there in front of her. Now, Nikki is a permit holder, but Tennessee had a law much like Virginia's that you could not have a gun in a restaurant that sells alcohol on premises. Nikki worked hard to get that law changed. Tennessee repealed that law last month. But it was too late to offer Nikki the opportunity to defend herself and Nikki's husband the opportunity to defend himself. So instead of celebrating her first wedding anniversary, she was burying her husband. But we need to get the law in Virginia changed so that permit holders can carry their guns concealed in Virginia restaurants.
That's right.
Criminals look for places like that, and they look outside of restaurants in people's cars for guns they can steal. It's just plain stupid to have that law. You can carry the gun in the restaurant if you don't conceal it without a permit. And there are certain classes of people that can carry the gun in the restaurant concealed just because they work in the Commonwealth Attorney's Office without training And there's no restriction on the consumption of alcohol other than they can't be legally drunk. The law that passed in the Virginia legislature the last 2 years said that permit holders could carry if they didn't drink. Tim Kaine vetoed that law 2 years in a row. I cannot say that I will be sad to see him leave office. Now, we all know, of course, that with exercising your Second Amendment rights, just like exercising any other right that you have, there comes an amount of personal responsibility. You guys are obviously responsible people. You're out here exercising your freedom to be a part of your government and to voice your concerns. We need to hold our politicians accountable for their actions also. We need to quit electing politicians that are criminals. We need to say to our state, county, federal governments, no more excuses. Do your job. Stick to the Constitution. That's it. Send them to jail.
And give them the same insurance we got.
Amen to that. Above all, we need to continue making our voices heard because our country is based on the fact that we all participate in our government on an ongoing basis. So thank you all for making your voices heard, and I look forward to seeing you again at the next Tea Party.